Hey, it's Janie and Eric. We're Chasing the Sun. In this video, we want to give you some tips for getting around in Vietnam. There are many options like taxis, rideshare, and even scooters.
Yes, find out which one is best for you as a traveler in Vietnam. Getting around in Vietnam isn't quite like getting around in other cities. So if you're traveling in Vietnam, here's some recommendations to make your getting around easier. Vietnam is still a developing country, and so is their public transit system. Unlike Taiwan, Hong Kong, Japan, and other developed Asian countries, there isn't many options for public transit. For instance, Ho Chi Minh only is starting to get their first mass transit line, and their intercity long-distance system isn't great. If you are thinking of going to other cities or other provinces, it's best to do it through long-distance buses or planes. For this video, we're going to focus in on getting around within the city. Within the city, scooters and motorcycles are the dominant modes of transportation. For instance, in Ho Chi Minh City alone, there are over 2 million scooters, mopeds, and motorcycles combined. Scooters are cheap to buy and maintain. Also, Vietnamese is not like North America with the big streets and boulevards. When you're in the old cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh, you'll find that there are many alleys which are only a meter wide. That's like 3 feet, so it's no wonder why scooters are the most popular transportation device for locals. Okay, so this is our Airbnb. We gotta go through this deep, dark tunnel to get there. You'll see here it's their family vehicle, and they even use it for work trucks like this guy. Now, if you really want an authentic experience when you're in Vietnam, then I would say you should rent one yourself and go around the city for that quintessential commuting experience. Watch near the end of this video where I'll go into detail about how to do this. Alright, if you've booked your accommodation in a central location and just want to walk around, then Google Map is going to be your friend because there's so much data here in Vietnam with Google Map. If you don't have mobile data, then our tip is to download the offline maps when you have Wi-Fi in the hotel or wherever you're staying, so that you can still have that map data when you're out. If you missed this video where we gave you some tips on how to use Google Map in Vietnam, then click on the card on the top right corner. Of course, you can also book a taxi to get around, but we really don't recommend this, and we'll go into why later on in this video.
So let's jump and cover each of these options.
Before we dive into the specifics of the different methods of transportation, we want to give you 2 safety tips for when you're walking around in Vietnam. The streets of Vietnam, especially the bigger cities, may seem chaotic at first. With all the scooters and cars buzzing around and seemingly not following any traffic rules, as a tourist from a developed country, it may seem daunting to even cross the street. But what you'll find is that the drivers of Vietnam are actually quite skilled and know how to avoid you. All you need to do is take that leap of faith and start walking. And what you'll find is that the cars and scooters will magically just avoid you. Okay, let's see how the locals do it. So if this old lady can do it, I think you can do it too. Yeah. The thing you have to understand about crossing the roads here in Ho Chi Minh is it's not like North America. Pedestrians do not get the right, cars and vehicles do, so you gotta watch out for them. But really, they are very good at evading you. So what you need to do is just walk slowly and keep on going. Of course, you still have to watch for traffic, but they'll naturally go around you. It's quite an interesting sight to see. Here, let us demonstrate for you now. Now let's go this side. Okay, they're coming at us. They're coming at us. Yeah!
This is the meaning of having no fear.
Kirsten both was freaked out and probably secretly enjoyed that experience. But you can see how that traffic just knows how to avoid you. There was a moment when I jokingly said that even if you were blindfolded, you can probably cross the street and get to the other side safely. The funny thing is that shortly after I made that statement, we actually saw a man blindfolded in the middle of this busy street. at this guy doing Tai Chi in the middle of the street blindfolded.
Blindfolded. Oh my god.
See what I mean? You can just blindfolds on and they walk across
Oh
the
my
street.
god, you caught that.
What I love about traffic in Vietnam is that there is no road rage. People can be cutting each other off, but that doesn't get to them like it would in North America. There's a certain order in the chaos here, which always fascinates me. Check out how our high driver here just pulls a U-turn in the middle of a busy street and holds up a bunch of traffic. So our driver just decided to pull a Yui in the middle of the street, but this is very normal here. That's why no one's surprised. You see all of these scooters coming by? Yeah.
They're all used to it.
The other safety tip for when you're walking around is to be careful of how and where you use your mobile phone. Smartphones are worth a lot here, and it is a common thing for people to just grab it from you. I'll let my local friend here show you how to be careful with this. We are here in Ho Chi Minh, and this is my friend David. He's a local here for a while now, 3 years or so. And this is a local insider tip that everyone needs to know as a tourist. Because what happens a lot is there's petty theft. Local guys, or I guess people, will come by in a scooter, and if you're using your phone like nothing's happening in North America, they'll come by and they'll just take your phone away from you. So what is the best way to use a phone if you have to use it in the street? Well, first of all, don't use it on the street if you don't have to. But if you do, David's gonna demonstrate how to do it.
Okay, so this is what most people do. They might be at the curb like this, booking Grab or Google Maps. This is wrong because the scooter will just, two guys the scooter will grab your phone and you'll be gone. So what I usually do is I make sure I'm in line with the street, so the scooter cannot drive by. So this is a helpful tip.
I see. Okay, and in what areas does this typically happen?
Anywhere where there's a lot of tourists.
Okay, any touristy locations, be careful of your cell phone.
Yeah.
And bags? Bags, same thing?
Bags, same thing. Don't leave it on a chair beside you. You know, sometimes they just grab it and run. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. That's local insider tip. Ho Chi Minh, in a city full of scooters, how do you really get around? Well, if you really have to take a taxi, it's Vina Sun is a trusted name. I would take Vina Sun. Secondly, it could be Mei Lin, which is a green taxi. Other taxis really will rip you off, so I would be careful. The taxis here aren't great, especially for tourists, because they tend to take the long route and stuff like that. So go for Mei Lin. Mei Lin taxi is the green one. Vina Sun is the white one. Now be careful, I've heard that there's imitations of Vina Sun because how popular they are, called Vin Sun taxi. It's looks the same colors. They're basically designed to imitate these guys, so don't take the wrong ones. So Mai Lin, this is the other more reputable company in for taxi, the green one. But you know, be careful. They are more reputable. I have heard that they still take the long route sometimes. But given that, you know, if you need to take a taxi, take Mai Lin or take Vina Sun. Other ones I've heard actually will rip you off. And if you want to find out other options, let's talk about car sharing.
This is our Grab car. Let's go.
So we're in a Grab car, and basically what Grab is a car share program similar to Uber and Lyft, but that's what they call it in Asia. It's a different company. In Vietnam, that's probably the best way to travel around. Taxis tend to rip you off. So when you're here, I would recommend you download the Grab app. You need to do it when you're here because you need a Vietnam number. So after you get your SIM card and you got your number, when you get your SIM card, make sure you get the one with a number, because you can get data only, which means no number. So if you got a Vietnam number, you can download the Grab app or the B app. So there's two companies, basically Grab and B. And and then you can basically have access to car share, which is cheaper than taxi and more honest, and it's a set price. That's the beauty about it. Now the tip for car share is between Grab and Bee, they're different prices, so I would download both and compare it. Grab, the insider's tip is put your Visa on it. It actually becomes much cheaper. You could pay cash, unlike Uber, you can pay cash here, which is nice. But if you put your Visa, it actually becomes much cheaper for some weird reason. Anyways, Bee, the thing about Bee is it's a Vietnam only app. So if you don't read Vietnamese, that's probably tough for you. Then go with Grab. Grab has English. Other than that, I think that's it. If you want to venture and dare to ride in the scooters, that Grab and Bee actually has Grab Scooter. So you would call a driver, they would come, and then you ride in the back. So you know, it's maybe a fun, exciting thing to do once. But if you can see the traffic here, some people might be scared. So these were one of the classic ways of going around in Vietnam. Not many around left, but this guy still has it. I don't know why. Oh, it's a Bee driver, so you can actually rent it. I think it's more for tourists and locals now. But traditionally, in the old days, that's what they used to do in Vietnam. It was called Sit Lo. Now, in the recent years, there has been a newer rideshare company called Gojek, so I should mention that. They are also a great option because they sometimes cost less than Grab, and unlike Bee, their app is all in English. And then another thing that you should note when taking rideshare in and out of the airport is that there may be additional airport taxes that is on top of the amount shown on your rideshare app. So don't be alarmed if your drivers ask you for this. I know that both the Ho Chi Minh and Hanoi airports have this. Another way to get around the city is with scooters. It's probably the fastest and most convenient way. Now, if riding in the back with a Grab driver is not thrilling enough for you, you can consider renting your own. There are many locations that will rent them, and they're not expensive. Some say that you should have your international license, but we rented from a few and they didn't ask. But hey, if you want to play it safe, then it's always good to have it. Okay, so we're in the middle of Hanoi traffic. Crazy scooter city here. But this is how you be a local. Riding here is going to be very different than in North America though, because of the craziness of the traffic. But what you'll find is that once you get with the stream of the traffic, it just all flows. Plus, they are really good at avoiding you, so it's not as scary as it looks. We rented in Hanoi and in Da Nang and had a total blast. Now, if you are really interested in riding a scooter here, then make sure you're subscribed because we will be publishing a few videos giving you tips on how to rent and ride a scooter in Vietnam, so you don't want to miss that. If riding a scooter is too chaotic for you, or if you're coming in the summer and you would rather be in the comfort of AC, then you could consider hiring your own driver and car. Usually this becomes worthwhile when you're traveling with a big group. You can even do this through the Grab or Gojek rideshare app and just choose a larger vehicle that can sit up to 7 people. Or you can also book a private van transport from a local tour company like what we did here. This is also a great way to do a day trip out of town or to even to get to another city. This would be more comfortable than being on a bus, and you have the whole car to yourself. Here's the private van that we hired for a one-way transport from Hanoi to Haiphong. You can see it's very luxurious.
So we hope you enjoyed that video and that it'll make your trip in Vietnam more enjoyable.
If you missed it, then please watch this video, which gives you some of the tips that you need to know when you first arrive in Vietnam, like getting money exchange or getting internet data service for your mobile phone.